Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Dr. Bangman Sol, and for this topic, today is I'm gonna present of this paper and co-authors, two co-authors, Dr. Munsana and Dr. Vikan. Our paper's title, A Study on the Effect of CSV on the performance of partner companies through the analysis of the artificial neural networks. Contents, let me present from introduction and research model and method and conclusions. Introduction. Recently, CSV, it is possible that it would create a new ecosystem that can create transformative innovation. That is, destroy existing ecosystems and create shared values. Therefore, companies need a CSV design that creates transformative innovation. That means long-term environmental sustainability. But, however, not only global companies but also some domestic companies are leading CSV as a corporate strategy, but they have a difficult reality due to lack of theoretical foundation for CSV and ambiguity about direction and method for correct CSV activities. Therefore, this study investigates the previous study of CSV to check the effect of economic value and social values, which are so defect of CSV on the performance of the partner companies. Literature review. First of all, let's see the CSV that we call creating shared value. Existing corporate social responsibility activities are showing limitation, and the economy and the company needs a new management strategy and the creation of shared value, which are simultaneously create economic and social value of the company, has newly attracted attention. At the heart of the CSV strategy is value creation. Shared value refers to sharing of economic and social values. Mr. Guan studied over it and result and this conclusions. Let's see our relation between CSV and partner companies' performance. Our company's CSV activities can increase its effectiveness by creating positive shared values among stakeholders, especially partner companies and society. In B2B relations between companies, performance is classified into three categories: attitude performance, behavioral performance, and economic performance. Economic value and social value activities, which are factors of CSV for large companies, will improve the performance of partner companies. Through this, the hypothesis was set as follows. Hypothesis 1. Economic value activities of the large companies, such as Samsung and Kind, will have a positive effect on the performance of business partners. This paper, we researched for the subject that are members of the Kind. Hypothesis 2. Social value activities will have a positive effect on partner companies' performance. ANN, artificial neural networks. This is very new analysis to apply to the management So it is very meaningful by analyzing by the ANN kind of the between or among the variables related to cause and effect or any kind of the analysis. So it is good. And actually, artificial neural networks are also applied machine learning, which is the field of artificial intelligence research. And global of ANN research is to develop a machine learning system based on the bioelectrical activity of the brain's biological model, especially brain neurons. Using this ANN analysis method, it is expected that a new influence and relation between CSV and related variables will appear. These results are expected to present new implications beyond the limitations of the existing regression model or structural equation model. Actually, regression model and the structural equation model, they kind of the analysis method that present just a linear kind of the linear result. But ANN is different result, come out a different result, kind of the not linear result. Research model and method. Look at the figures here. There are three parts. First part, the input layer, economic value and social value. Hidden layer, the kind of the as a mediate variables, and the output layer, that's the independent variables like partnership preference. And survey design here, the subject of the study was 246 data collected after the survey of approximately 50 small or medium-sized enterprise employees and practitioners in the aviation complex in Gyeongnam regions. Based on the validity and reliability of all questionnaires applied to the variables in this study, and is a new analysis method, non-linearly shows the relationship between variables rather than structural equation model that represents a simple linear result. And democratic characteristics. As a result of demographic analysis, male and female gender account for 90-51% that, and also female account for 44.9%. Oh, here is the let's see revised. Male is account for 95.1%, and female is just 4.9%. And this is because the male ratio is very high due to the nature of the aviation manufacturing industry. And the number of working years was the highest with 62.6% over 15 years, and followed by 14.2 points for 1 through 5 years. 13% for 5 through 10 years, 6.1% for less than 1 year, and 6.1% for less than 10 through 15 years, respectively. The education degree was 73.6% of college graduate, and the grade school higher than 10.9%. was found to have a high education level. And here, look at the figures. It is a non-linear graph. So here, economic value and the relationship between the personal performance and economic value. So it is kind of the result shows the economic variables goes up, the value of the economic value is goes up, and then performance also partners performance also goes up. It little bit fluctuate, but goes up. Okay, let's skip this. Already I explained it. Here, this graph is the result of analysis between social values and performance of partner companies. Here, this graph is different from the first graph. This graph is social values goes up, but the performance, the partner's performance the first time goes down, but abruptly in just some time goes and then change the values of the performance. It goes up. So that means it is very meaningful result. Usually most companies try to create the social values like the social problems, just solving the social problems such as the employing the members in the local area and then protect the environment, such kind of the activities. But this is produce something good. It take a long time. For example, 1 or 2 years at least, and then it is produced good fruits like the social values. So the companies try to create the social values. Okay, let me more explain about it. Specifically, as the value of economic value increased from 1.6 to 5.2, the performance partner companies initially had a negative effect from 1.83, and the social value increased from about 3 or higher to about 5.0. The result of this study showed the actual relationship between the two variables with a curved graph rather than a simple linear relation shown in the regression model. Okay, conclusions. Here, conclusions, the theoretical and practical implications of this study are as follows. First, it was found that economic value activity is a factor of the creation and shared value of the large companies had a positive effect on the performance of the partner company. These results show the same research result as the previous studies. In other words, economy CSV creation activities such as observing payment date, technical investment, etc., which are economic support activity of small and medium-sized companies, subsidiaries, have a significant positive effect on business performance of the subcontractors. And second, social value activity, which is a sub-factor of creation of shared values of large companies, was found to have a positive effect on the performance of the partner companies. Although the results of this study were similar to those of the previous studies, they showed the linear studies different from those of the array model or structural equation model, which shows the relationship between the variables in a linear graph. Third, the social value activities such as solving social and environmental problems of the large companies and creating local employment were generally thought of as cost companies. History of corporate activities has stated by many companies. However, as confirmed in the result of this study, this social value creation activity increased management performance of partner companies, finally, and eventually lead to a virtuous cycle that leads to the improvement of quality and competitiveness of large companies in the long term. Therefore, it is suggested that corporate decision makers actively implement a CSV strategy that can create win-win values rather than a corporate strategy focused on short-term economic performance. Thank you very much.